Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. How is everyone doing? All right? I can't hear you. What's going on, everyone? Can I get some beer? Oh, great. Now that I know that you're listening, alhamdulillah, I will begin and just by start off saying thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure and honor to address you here today. One of the reasons I enjoy the work I do so much is because I get to go into the community and meet Muslims from all over the UK and all over the Ummah. So coming to events like this is always an absolute pleasure. I guess basically some of you may know of Five Pillars. It's a pretty well-established brand name now, especially here in the UK. I could go on about the work I do, but obviously you could easily check that out because I drone on endlessly and you can see the work I do on Five Pillars. So I do all encourage you, if you haven't, to familiarise yourself with Five Pillars. But I think what I want to focus on today is the fact that, I am a convert to Islam. I know that there are other converts here, and I even met someone who's interested, not sure if he's going to embrace Islam, but he's going to see how he goes. But, Islam is a beautiful religion. It's a religion of truth. It's a religion which has a reach globally, and it's growing. And I think that one of the reasons that Islam is growing is simply because it is the religion of truth. A lot of the people who hate Islam, I being one of those people originally, was based on ignorance. So Islam is one of those things where if you try it, you end up loving it. And there are so many people I know who haven't embraced Islam, but when they learn about Islam and meet Muslims and make Muslim friends, they at least respect the religion and respect Muslims when they actually find out what it's all about. Islam is under attack. It's under attack in the media, it's under attack from Western politicians, and it's physically being attacked by countries as well. We, of course, have seen what's going on in Gaza. We've seen the horrific situation in Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq. I could go on and list many more examples. But despite all of these attacks, Islam is growing. And it's not only growing because, mashallah, we have lots of kids. That's one way of explaining it, mashallah. But also there are huge numbers of people embracing Islam all over the world, including in the West. When I came back from the States to cover the presidential election, I went to Michigan. And there it's a very mixed community. There are a lot of Muslims there, but there's also a lot of Mexicans. Dearborn as well is known for having a strong African-American community there. And a lot of these other minority communities in America are embracing Islam in huge numbers. There's a lot of converts in Europe, many of whom are women as well. Now, answer me this, right-wingers, Islamophobes, the Tommy Robinsons out there who feel entitled to write books about what the Quran really teaches as if they know, without knowing a word of Arabic. Why is it that if Islam is evil, backwards and barbaric, if it's all about taking over and killing people and enslaving women and all that type of stuff, why are so many women embracing Islam? Why are so many people all across the world embracing Islam? People of all backgrounds, all religions previously, of all ethnicities. And it's because Islam is the truth. It's as simple as that. I personally used to hate Islam. I grew up after 9/11 and I used to think the same things, that Islam is backwards and barbaric and that it has some problem with the West, that Islam is the issue here and that Muslims have some grievance. I don't know what it was, but why are they coming here and threatening our way of life? What did we ever do to the Muslim world to deserve any kind of criticism or hostility whatsoever? And alhamdulillah, when I was around the age 14, 15, I met the first Muslim ever. Growing up in an English majority area and background and family meant I was never exposed to Muslims or Islam at all until, alhamdulillah, I met my first Muslim friend at secondary school. And I bombarded him with all of the usual nonsense. What's your problem? Why is Islam the problem? Why is Islam attacking the West? What have we ever done to deserve this? Why do you treat women the way you do? And alhamdulillah, he was knowledgeable enough to know that this brother, me, is a good guy, but he needs to be patient. And alhamdulillah, after a little bit of time, a little bit of dawah, I learned just from witnessing him. He didn't even preach to me very much. He wasn't a preachy guy. He was normal with me and just took it on the chin. But when I observed what he did, how he fasted, how he'd abstained from ills which are promoted in the West, like drinking alcohol, going out and partying, engaging in all sorts of actions before marriage, all that type of stuff that the West promotes, as if it's somehow empowering for young people to get involved in drugs and crime and all that type of stuff. When I saw him abstain from that, I realized Muslims, it's not what they're telling me in the news. Muslims are not as they're being described in the news. And then from someone who went to Sunday school as a kid, someone who believed in a creator, I realized that Christianity is kind of a defeated force, and that many of the ills that exist in society today may be a consequence of the breakdown of religion in Western society. But there is a religion out there that's still thriving, and it's protecting its people, and it's growing. And they're building a community based on traditional values, like respect for your elders, getting married, taking care of one another, charity. And I began to realize, hang on a minute, maybe the problem isn't Islam or Muslims. Maybe the problem is how we're living here and how we're allowing our society to become decadent and broken and promote vice and misery and sins as if it's something good and honorable. And I began to then take a real interest in Islam. So long story short, not long after that, I began to read the Quran in English. I was exposed to the life of the Prophet. I watched that wonderful movie, The Message, I'm sure many of you will know. And I began to realize that everything I knew about Islam before actually meeting a Muslim, speaking to a Muslim and asking them, what do you actually believe? Not listening to the BNP and Nick Griffin and all these types of people that I grew up listening to about foreigners in Islam, as if they know what they're talking about. When I actually bothered to ask a Muslim, what do you believe? When I actually bothered to pick up the Quran and read and see what the creator of the universe has said to us, that's when I realized that actually Islam is not only beautiful, but it's something I want to be a part of. It's something I want to be a part of. And alhamdulillah, by the age of 16, I take my shahada, embrace my name, Muhammad Ali, never ever look back. I was scared at the time. I was scared. I was scared what my family going to think. All my non-Muslim mates who still go out drinking on the weekends and eating pork and swine and all that type of stuff and wanting to chase women and all that type of thing. I was scared. I was like, what are these people going to think of me? Will I become a pariah? Am I doing the right thing? But I decided, you know what, there's something unique about Islam. I'm just going to go for it. And so my advice to anyone out there who's interested in Islam, anyone who's just embraced it and is sort of trying to implement that new Islamic lifestyle, just go for it. Just go for it. Any one of you out there who have had kids will know this. It's never the right time to have kids. It's never the right time. No matter how much money you earn, no matter what job you're in, no matter what circumstances, you've got a house or not, or this or that, it's never ever quite the right time to have kids. But just go for it. And once you do that, you will never regret it, because inshallah you will have a beautiful human being who loves you and you can care for. No one ever regrets having kids once they make the plunge. And it's exactly the same for Islam. Do not let cultural, societal pressures keep you away from this beautiful, amazing thing. Inshallah, of course, I could talk about this much longer. I know there's a Q&A section that might be coming up, so I will leave it there for now. But inshallah, if you do want to learn a little bit more about the work that I do, 5 Pillars, do check it out. It's a website. We also have social media. And we're always on the lookout for stories from the Muslim community as well. So please do, if there's anything happening in your community, anything you think deserves press or public attention, do let us know at 5 Pillars. Inshallah, we're here to serve you as well. I hope to give something back to this beautiful community that I take from. I don't want to be a couch potato Muslim. It's a community that I benefit from tremendously, and so I always like to offer the chance to give something back. So please, if there's anything I can do to help from a media or journalistic perspective, please do get in touch, inshallah. Take care. God bless. Martin.
Jazakallah khairan, brother Robert. Wow, 16, subhanallah, what a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing that. How powerful to know that there are so many young brothers and sisters who are just finishing their GCSEs and now considering Islam. That was so powerful. Thank you, brother.